Now what we're aware of is that there was some program sales coming in from this candle here. So we're aware that this could be a level. Now it's not going to be that candle, it's going to be the high price. So probably somewhere up here there is a program sell kicking off. So we're aware of that as a possible sticking point. So when we get that spoof sell there, we get another spoof sell in exactly the same place, just there, see it? So there's your other spoof sell there. Red line going up, blue line going down with an increase in volume. Spoof sell. There it is. And that's all you're looking for, guys, that spoof. Now you can see on the top edge here, we can see that this is almost a spoof buy trade. So that's obviously a nice opportunity for you to look at it and say, you know what, I'm going to book my monies here. I'm happy with that bit of business at that time. And that's exactly where the price jumps. Exactly where the price jumps. Now, interestingly enough, we seem to get a program buy trade coming in from this point here. And obviously that's where we've just went through. So I was watching to see if a program buy trade would kick off here, but it hasn't yet. And obviously that means that I'm just basically looking at a program buy that isn't trading just again at this point. Now, where should we be going? Probably top edges. So I do want to be in the buy trade. I'm just aware that I don't want to pay over the odds for this bit of business, right? The Qs are certainly very bullish. Then the S&P maybe not quite so bullish. So the S&P lagging behind the Nasdaq at the moment in terms of this short-term price action. I'd have thought we would probably on the S&P just have been trading above that 47.5 at this stage. And at the moment we're just a little bit shy of that. So I think we'll probably be doing 47.5 very shortly, guys. So let's see if we can get a little bit of a trade, a little bit of a lean here. So you can see exactly what the whole trade narrative is about, guys. We're bidding into these down-ticking phases. So it means that you're not crossing spreads to get this. You're just bidding away nicely into these down-ticking phases as part of the market maker's game narrative. And if you're waiting for the end of the candle, you wait for the stop runs, that's up to you. But obviously if you start seeing some volume leans, you start seeing a buy-side book, that's what you're starting to lean against. That's what you're starting to lean against when you see it, right? That's what we're looking for. Okay, a little couple of top edges there that seem to be a little bit empty of program buyers. So little pause for us at the moment, guys. You can see into the top edge, we saw a lack of program buyers up here and a lack of program buyers there. So after this last program buyer came in off of this level, you can see that the program buyer's not connecting again at that stage. So it takes us back down to this last program trade area here, which is this price here. And that's where the next buy opportunity might come from. Okay, we've got a divergent macro and micro just now. You can see it for yourself. We've got a divergent macro and micro. Take a look. So at the orange line, which is now this orange line here, we should be above the prior high. We should be above here. So obviously that's where we've got a bit of a trouble here, right? We've got a little bit of trouble here, but I still like the long trade, that's for sure. I still like the buy on the long trade side. So obviously, you can see we've just came off that program trade level in the Qs. We've had a very nice buy response. It didn't happen here, but it did happen down here. Now, we never really got a program buy coming in, so we haven't had the fast money reversal just yet. In fact, on the opposite, we actually got a kind of a spoof buy trade coming in here, which caused that price to jam into that high print there, which obviously caused us a few problems. It meant we had to take some money there and obviously get away from that bit of business. But we're still aware of this program buy level here, but we're not seeing any buys. I want to see that diverging, guys. I think this price is going to squeeze back down a little bit, and we might well be buying at slightly lower prices shortly. And that's obviously something that we're aware of. Now, if that changes and we get a program buy coming in, which it just did, we just join in with a buy trade, which I've just done. We got some sells getting jammed at 40, so I've just paid 40.5 for this trade, guys. I've paid 40.5 for this trade. Did anybody join me at 40.5 against those leans? So I've just paid 40.5 against those leans. There's 200 contracts at 40. Anybody take it? Stops in at break even in this trade, guys. Stops in at break even. So we got some leans at 40.5. We got some leans at 40.5, and I just bought some against those, and we got a nice little pop there to 46s. The only challenge we've got is that obviously at that stage we never had the program kicking off, but then we started to see the program kicking off here, and then it exploded. Okay, so that was the trade. Now, this program buy level still seems to be in place here. This is the level we've now been presenting across the charts here for the last few minutes. You can see this program buy trade gave us this buy, gave us this buy, and now it's given us this buy. It hasn't given us this buy. Okay, so we're just letting it run through, failed auction. Letting it run through, failed auction. And we'll see if we pick up any new trades. Now take a look at what happened here. You can see that the orange line is still presenting this low print here. And obviously from that point onwards it's now dropped. Divergent. So there's definitely still a buy in this, but it's at what price? That's why we had to be careful not to overbuy it, because I thought that's what was going to happen the last time on the last drop, but I would rather wait to get this trade onto the divergence. And at the moment, you can see it's not diverging just yet. So I want to make sure we get that big stop run out the way, get the big sweep out the way, and then I think we could probably start market making this on the way down, guys. Now you don't have to just rely on this. There's obviously things like the XLY, XLP you could add to this as a narrative to make it a little bit more complete, so that you're not kind of blind to these statistical arbitrage trades just simply from the indexes, but instead you're actually looking at value as well. But so there's no harm in adding that value to the charts, or the highs lows, for example, for a market internal, or the XLK, XLUs, or whatever you like. You can always add in those narratives to the picture. And if you add those narratives to the picture, then of course you can obviously see whether you want to do these index arbitrage trades or not. Simply what the question is, right? Simply what the question is. Now I like the buys at lower prices, but obviously you've got to still try and find where the lower price is. The volume is very low just now, so I'm very surprised that we haven't seen any kind of big volume spiking. So I think they're going to try and run the sweep, to be honest. I wouldn't be surprised if they ran the sweep, to be honest. But it's definitely got a buy value in it, hasn't it? Definitely got a buyer. It's definitely got a buyer in it. Because if you look at where the macro is on this since the cash open, the valuation is here, right? So if that's the valuation, the price should be running up here. Not quite, because obviously we've now got a new anchored price here. So the price should be running back into at least that kind of anchoring area on the buy side of the markets, okay? So that's what we should be expecting. So we got a little lean there at 29s. I've taken a buy trade against 29s, and we got a little lean there, made some nice easy money. So there was another block trade came in at 29 just there, managed to buy against it with a buy stop order, and we've had a very, very nice profit coming away from that 29s back to 38s. Pretty easy? Pretty easy, guys, pretty easy.